Good morning. Hi.
Hi.
Margaret, your group, I looked at your PowerPoint, there were some blank slides. Is that your final draft? Is that your final PowerPoint? All right, you gotta unmute. And there's other members of your group, hopefully are here, and they can confirm whether that was your final PowerPoint, because when I looked at it, it had maybe 3, maybe 4 blank slides, and then it continued. So I wasn't sure whether it was your final PowerPoint.
Okay, I'll look now. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because you can upload.
Yeah.
You can upload your, yeah.
Sure.
All right, let me start taking attendance and see who's here. Good morning, everyone. Let me see. Dana. I don't see Dana. Valeria.
Here.
Yes, I do see her. Yeah. I sort of look up, see if I see any names. Chai. Ariana.
Here.
Very good.
Sorry for
Ariana's.
interruption, Prof. I'll rejoin the Zoom from the laptop. So I'm
No
going
problem. No problem. I'll mark you in, Margaret.
Okay.
Okay. Jacqueline. Jacqueline here. Natalia. Zaffa.
Here.
Okay, very good. May, I see her. Or my. Nicolette. Marley. Margaret's here. Alyssa, I think Alyssa emailed me. She had to be, okay, Marley's just signing in. Let me mark Marley in and let her in. Okay. So that's Marley joining us. Alyssa, Brandon.
Here.
I just saw Brandon pop up. Very good. Nancy. Nancy here. Yes, I see Nancy. Nicole. Lisa. I see Lisa. I see her name. Jordan. Mariah. Brenda. Morgan. Catherine. Megan. Okay, Catherine's coming in now. I'll mark her in. I think Catherine goes by Katie. Let's see. Paige. And Yun.
Here.
Okay, very good. Oh, she's an iPhone person. Okay. Anyone, they're not sure whether I marked you in as being present.
Me, Professor.
Is that Catherine?
Yes.
Yes, I marked you in as I was letting you in. Very good.
Miss Patrick, did you get me?
Yes, Marley, thank you for checking. I marked you in when I showed that when you showed that you were, well, you were in a waiting room and I let you in. Okay,
All right, thanks.
very good. Want to get started in a minute. And I really appreciate many of you have attended the Zoom. I'm just saying that because we're coming down to the end. We only have a couple more classes to meet. We're going to look at our timeline. And the class has been going well. We're currently, groups are presenting their lesson plans, PowerPoints. So let's go to Canvas to see where we are in the course. And let's go to the home page. And I always like to go to the outline. And the outline is what guides us, and we can see where we should be in the course, and today being the 21st. So I posted test 4 last week, and it should close tonight, correct? On chapters 9 and 10. You have another test that I will be opening next week, which is the 28th on chapters 11, 12, and 13. 11 should be on water. 12 and 13 is on your major and trace minerals. So after the presentations, I want to just review these 3 chapters. Again, you must read your chapters and go to Pearson. There's a study area. You have your outline. So again, it is your responsibility to be prepared for your tests. You've been testing well. I've been looking at your grades. I do have to move some of your grades from Pearson to Canvas grades, and I'll probably take time today and do that. I'm working on a rubric that will match the one that was in your syllabus for your education assignment. Your diet analysis project is due May 5th. So again, wrap up that diet analysis project, do a real good job there. I'll go and review that assignment because I think I do have some information in Canvas. Again, it's in your syllabus. It's in your syllabus, but I did move some information into Canvas so you can sort of, let's go to assignments. And of course, in your assignment area, we have your lesson plans. I'm developing a rubric so I can quickly grade your lesson plans. I'm working on that today. I'm also developing a rubric, so as you turn in your diet analysis, again, due on the 5th, okay? Even for these, for this class, that's your research. You got your grades for your research. Let me go down to diet analysis. Here's your diet analysis. And in diet analysis, I just have a small, again, the detailed information for your diet analysis is in your syllabus. And again, that's due May 5th, okay? All right. Any questions about any of your assignments? Because we are coming down to finalizing everything. I'm going to go to the lesson plans, and I'm going to go to the groups that are going to present. So I'm just going to, I believe the groups that are presenting today will be okay. Here's Margaret's group. I will give them more time if needed. Let's see. See, this is what I mean about the blank slides. So I'm giving that group time to upload. Okay, Brandon's in this group too.
Yeah, I just resubmitted the assignment, so I think we should be fine.
Okay, let me go to your area. This should be it. Maybe I need to go out and go back in. All right, let me go out. Let me go out and go back in. Okay. Okay, Margaret is coming back in. Let me click on this. This may be. You're good to go. Wow, look at that technology. Okay, so this group's good to go. I have your most recent. Since I'm on this group, I think you are the next group to present anyway, and then we'll have our second group, and I'll tell you who they are in a few minutes. It should be the group with Nancy, Nicole, and Lisa. Let's take a look at your PowerPoint. And you should be the next group to present. I just have two groups, correct? I'm pretty sure it's just the two groups. Oh, okay. I have another group that, I know. Okay. Looks like we have three groups presenting. Yes, all right. Yes, three groups are presenting. So let's go back and get started here. Okay, so let's go with this PowerPoint here. I'll make it larger. And we have Margaret, we have, I think, Alyssa, she has to do something with the dental, so she emailed me. She has to, some presentation with the dental program, but Margaret and Brandon are here to present their lesson plan. So let's go to the lesson plan first. I'll minimize this. And here they are with their lesson plan. Okay.
The only thing the PowerPoint is missing, it looks good, but it's just missing, like, we had like pictures of like an X over like the unhealthy food and like a green check mark next to the healthy food.
Oh, so when I brought the PowerPoint up, you saw some graphics missing?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay. Don't worry too much about that. Go
I
ahead,
don't know
Margaret.
why, because it's the Chromebook I'm using. It keeps deleting stuff and adding stuff.
Oh.
Although I'm reviewing everything before I make it, but
That's
just
okay.
I'll try to look for
Probably,
the right one. Yeah.
yeah, it's you can try to upload, but in the
Yeah.
meantime, we'll have you present your lesson plan. You
Sure.
want to do that, Brandon?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, very good.
So Brandon, can you submit the PowerPoint from your computer? Because
Yeah.
yeah, can you please resubmit it? Because mine is,
Okay.
I don't know.
Technology's good, and then it has its, I know, it's
Yeah, but
problems.
Professor, I keep like doing stuff and then I can't find it. And then
Okay,
if I say I don't want it bold, it keeps like making the writing bold. I said I want it normal.
huh,
So
okay,
I have some problem.
that's okay. Brandon, resubmit. Okay, Margaret, while we're waiting for Brandon, do you want to start presenting your lesson plan?
Actually, I can start. I just submitted
Okay,
it.
no problem. Very good.
All right. So yeah, we did healthy, low fat, and low sugar snacks for after school ages 11 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So our target audience is middle school students aged 11 to 15. Our statement of purpose is that the purpose of this lesson is to teach students ages 11 to 15 about which snacks are low fat, low sugar, and convenient to eat for after school. So our goal is middle school students aged 11 to 15 will be able to identify and bring a food to eat for after school that is low fat and low sugar instead of bringing a high fat and high sugar food.
Okay.
So cognitive objectives. Students will be able to explain the qualities of a low fat and low sugar snack and understand that snacks that are low fat and low sugar and low in sugar can still taste good. Effective objectives. Students will be able to discuss what type of snacks are usually low fat and low sugar, select which snacks will stay fresh throughout the school day and that are low fat and low in sugar. Psychomotor objectives. Students will be able to build up new habits by adding healthy food to their favorite snacks and demonstrate the ability to place the low fat and low sugar food in the healthy group and place the high fat and high sugar food in the unhealthy group. They will also perform the ability to choose which snack is the best option to eat after school that's low fat and that's low in sugar when given 4 options to choose from. And they'll also be able to enhance the students, mistyped there, to go around, ask the students to go around their kitchens or at the grocery store to create their own unique snack recipes. So required materials, that would be carrots, chips, low-fat milkshake, cups, straws, napkins, an assessment, scissors and glue, and list for healthy, low-fat, and low-sugar snacks. So the instructor will illustrate, this is our anticipatory set. The instructor will illustrate the importance of eating low-sugar and low-fat healthy snacks between meals. The instructor will list some healthy snacks to choose from. So for our direct instructions and demonstration, our instructor will show the students how to eat carrots in a different way. At the same time, the instructor will ask them to perform that. The instructor will show the students a new recipe of delicious healthy milkshakes, and he will give each student his own cup to enjoy the low-fat milkshake. So for this part, we're supposed to get the rest from Melissa, but she never emailed the part to us.
Okay. All right. So a little feedback here. Good job. You have your target audience. Statement of purpose is very good. Your goal, maybe using the word understand or learn. For example, the middle school students will be able to or will understand how to bring a food to eat after school that is low fat, okay? So using the word understand or they will learn, so again, right here you have, this is measurable. So this is a good verb for your objective for them to explain, but this understand, you can't measure it. So instead of understand, maybe list snacks. There you go. Use the word list snacks that are low fat and low in sugar that can still taste good, okay? Or name snacks where the unmeasurable verb understand is a good vague verb to use in your goal. Then again, all your other verbs were good. They were measurable. When you set this up, student will be able to, good, and you start with your verb. And then right here, we didn't start with our verb anymore. Student will be able to build up new habits. See where student will be able to, yeah, get rid of this so that you start your objective with the verb, build up. This one was good, demonstrate, all right? Perform, enhance, okay? And you really needed only 2 objectives in each of the 3 domains. Required material should go to the very end, okay? So the required material goes to the end. You go to with your anticipatory set, which was good, your direct instruction, and of course, you know, your other member didn't submit. So again, your required materials would go right at the very end, okay? So just to go over the format of your lesson plan. So let's go to your PowerPoint. And
I resubmitted it, so it might be, you might have to
let
close
me
it
go
out.
back. Let me close. And I'm going to go back. All right. This looks like you're resubmitted. I see a check there. That looks a little different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to present their PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yo.
I'll do like the first bit. So yeah, we did suggest low fat and low sugar snacks for school ages 11. So for our introduction, our target audience is middle school students aged 11 to 15. Our statement and purpose, purpose of this lesson is to teach students ages 11 to 15 about which snacks are low fat, low sugar, and convenient to eat for. The goal, middle school students aged 11 to 15 will be able to identify and bring a food to eat for after school that is low fat and low sugar instead of bringing a high fat and high sugar food. Cognitive objectives, students will be able to explain the qualities of a low fat and low sugar snack and understand that snacks that are low fat and low in sugar can still taste good. Affective objectives. Students will be able to discuss what type of snacks are usually low fat and low sugar, select which snacks will stay fresh throughout the school day and that are low fat and low in sugar. Psychomotor objectives. Students will be able to demonstrate the ability to place the low fat and low sugar food in the healthy group and place the high fat and high sugar food in the unhealthy group. They will also be able to perform the ability to choose which snack is the best option to eat after school, as low in fat, low in sugar, and when given 4 options to choose from. So I think Margaret, I think this is your slides.
So we'll start to give them, you know, to give the students to make the demonstration during the presentation. We'll start to give them carrot, like the big carrots one. And then, actually, did you miss the slide that I was having? Anyways, okay, it's okay. I had a slide, I put a slide that where an exhausted stomach comparing to a healthy stomach. And in that slide, I was explaining why do we need to eat snacks in between meals. Because if you skip the snack, or if you are the person that who doesn't like to eat snacks, you will be starving by the mealtime, and you will eat too much food, and that will make your stomach not good. You will have a problem with your digestion, with your bowel movement. So, and I put like an illustration with the washing machine. So if you overload the washing machine, it's and you keep doing that constantly, so the washing machine will broke. Same thing with your stomach. So I mean, if you put the small loads of laundry in the washing machine, so you will get a perfect results of how clean your laundry. Same thing with your digestion and, you know, your healthy, like digestion healthy process. So we're missing this slide, so I'm gonna skip to the carrots. So we're gonna give them carrots, and I'll say that nobody doesn't like chips. Myself, I like to eat chips, but instead of putting drink like soda or juice with the chips, just we're gonna add the carrot, and I'm gonna start to eat it with them, and then show them that they will eat with me, seeing that the carrot is 2 layers. So we'll figure out the slight difference in the taste in the 2 layers. Meantime, we'll chew our carrots well, and after we finish the whole carrot, we'll start to eat a little bit of our chips. That way, we have replaced a bad part of our snack with a good part with the carrot. Also, there's a lot of other suggestion, like if you like crackers, if you like cookies, if you like whatever, just replace the drinking of soda or the juice with natural fruit, a piece of an apple, peaches, apricot, pear, banana, with your favorite snack. And then I'll start to make in class during the presentation a healthy milkshake out of, so we will replace the ice cream part with a cup of yogurt. And I have it here. And half cup of whole milk, and then enjoy it. And you can add more color by adding a fruit, natural fruit to it. So you will get more color. And you can still get like 2 cookies or something you like with this drink, with this milkshake. And then
Yeah,
the
I can do this.
conclusion is missing. So anyways, my conclusion was so when you eat healthy snacks, you will fill up your body with important vitamins. It's not there. I don't know why, but but I still memorized some of it.
Okay.
So you fill up your body with vitamins and minerals and very essential nutrients for for your digestion during the whole day with the meals. And also for some of it, okay, I'll go ahead and just do the closure, but
Okay.
I'll try to find this parts, the missing parts that I did, because it's
I
not
can
there.
do it. I can do this part if you want me to.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Closure was the student will be given an opportunity to take picture and write down the snack they sampled that they enjoyed, which one they have in class they enjoyed more. The instructor will ask students which snack was their favorite. Basically, it's same thing. The instructor will encourage the student to ask any question regarding low-fat and low-sugar snacks. Instructor will begin passing out materials for independent practice, assessment, and follow-up. So in the next slide, yeah, this is the assessment that they are, I mean, this is the practice thing that they're going to cut out, you know, and have the scissor and the glue to put to the side the unhealthy food, and the healthy food like to glue it to the right spot. And then we're gonna give them the some recipes for delicious healthy snacks, and on the next, so student will be given the attached handout to bring home and follow this. And this is another list of healthy snacks. It's all fruit, and as you see we have many, and the like I have it a little different, but it's okay. Changed a lot. Then
Do
this
this.
assessment, yeah, is
Um,
to have at home, and they start to watch what they eat, and they record like what they do during like the whole week. And yeah, that's the whole presentation.
Good job. Good job. A lot of interaction. That's what I really like about this presentation, that engaging. And yeah, you kept the the children engaged, meaning that you had them doing things. So you had a lot of activities, good visual aids, that tasting of the carrot, letting them know that they're filling their tummy, so that if they want to add crackers or cookie or chips, they won't eat as much. Yeah. And we go back to our carbohydrates, and how if we're consuming those refined carbohydrates, you get even more hungrier, and you eat a lot more of that particular food. Where if you consume the whole fruit, the whole vegetable, whole grains, it gives you a feeling of fullness and satisfaction. So again, it really does cut down on your consumption of the high energy type foods. Good, good, good job. I want to move to our next group.
Yeah.
All right, so let me move to our next group. All right, and our next group will be Nancy's group, okay? Nancy's here, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Nancy, do you have another member of your group, or is it
Yes, it's
just
me.
you?
Yep, Lisa's on as well.
Very good. All right, we have two members of this group. So let's have you present your lesson plan first. I'll make it a little larger. Okay.
Okay. So our group topic was potential triggers that could lead to an eating disorder. Our target audience is pre-adolescents ages 11 to 13. The statement of purpose is, the purpose of this lesson plan is to educate pre-adolescents ages 11 to 13 on what an eating disorder is and the potential triggers that could lead to it. Our goal is for pre-adolescents to understand the 3 different eating disorders, their signs and their symptoms, and what possible triggers and how you could treat it.
Mm-hmm.
Our cognitive objectives, the students will be able to explain what an eating disorder is and how they can develop within an individual. They will be able to understand and recognize the different signs of an eating disorder, understand how different eating disorders can affect the human body, and how to treat each one. Our effective objectives, the students will be able to discuss the possible triggers for each disorder and make the correct choices on how to handle each disorder. Our psychomotor objectives, students will be able to differentiate different eating disorders and their signs, and then answer questions regarding the different eating disorders. Our anticipatory set, or the instructor will ask the students if they've had any personal experience with an eating disorder, whether it was themselves or someone they know, and how it's affected their lives and the lives of people around them. So does anyone know of anyone that has an eating disorder? What is an eating disorder? And what are some signs and symptoms that the person or what they've noticed other people experience? For our direct instruction, we will present a PowerPoint that explains what anorexia is, bulimia, and obesity, and how each disorder affects the body differently. And then we'll talk about the possible causes for each eating disorder and how people get to the point of having one. We will divide the students into groups with pieces of paper divided into different eating disorders and an envelope containing slips that describe characteristics of each eating disorder. Students will have to place the slips in the appropriate section, and then we will evaluate the correct, like if they're correct on each one. And then we'll correct whatever is wrong. And then our closure, we will review eating disorders and hand out a packet with information on how to treat each eating disorder and ways to cope with it, and psychological ways to understand what's going on with your body. For the independent practice, we'll hand out a fake quiz on eating disorders. They will need to distinguish the different signs and symptoms of each disorder as well as possible causes. And then we'll go over the answers and discuss whatever questions are asked. And then our required materials, just the lesson plan, the quiz, and the slideshow.
Good. Okay. Just to go back, and we're seeing that this is happening more frequently, where your goal, you use the word understand, which again is not measurable, but right here, student will be able to, just using recognize would be good. Get rid of the word understand. Student will be able to recognize the different signs of eating disorders. Here, get rid of understand. Students will be able to name the different eating disorders that can affect the human body. All right. Get rid of understand. And again, you only needed 2 objectives. Get rid of understand. We'll be able to identify possible treatments for each disorder. So you need measurable verbs here. You're good here. Discuss, make, all right, or create, or but make is good. You can measure make, and to differentiate, and to answer or respond to questions regarding the different eating disorders. So we have a couple more groups coming up. Please take a look at your verbiage that you're using for your objectives. And I gave you a list of measurable verbs. Go back, make sure you're using measurable verbs here. Rest of your lesson plan, good job. You have your time allotments. You have a variety of techniques, okay? Good job. Let's go to your PowerPoint. And here we go. Right.
Okay, so our lesson plan was on the potential triggers that could lead to an eating disorder. The target audience is pre-adolescents ages 11 to 13. So while we were doing the lesson plan, you have to keep in mind that they're in middle school and they're beginning puberty. So it's just certain things that we have to keep in mind when we were doing it.
Good.
So the statement of purpose is to educate pre-adolescents ages 11 to 13 on what an eating disorder is and the potential triggers that could lead to it. The goal is to understand the main 3 different eating disorders, their signs and symptoms, possible triggers again, and how to treat them. So the cognitive objectives, we were to explain what an eating disorder is, how they can develop, recognize the different signs of each eating disorder, name how the different eating disorders can affect the human body, and then identify the possible treatments for each eating disorder as well. And that's just a small snippet that we had regarding that. So our other objectives were to have the students be able to discuss the possible triggers, and then make the correct choices on how to handle each, and go basically, in a sense, treat the disorder, I guess you would say. So some of our psychomotor objectives were to differentiate the different eating disorders and their signs, and then be able to answer the questions that we have at the end of the lesson plan. So anticipatory set, again, we were going to start off by asking for a personal experience, whether it be themselves or anyone in their family, asking them what they noticed, how personally it's affected them, if that was the case, just to sort of set the mood of the seriousness of the topic. And then for our direct instruction, we were going to have a PowerPoint that explains anorexia. So we were going to focus on 3 main eating disorders: anorexia, bulimia, and then binge eating disorder, and then their possible effects on the body, so what it actually does to them, and then possible causes and possible triggers, and then possible treatments at the end. So the next couple slides are examples of what we would have done when we were to present this to our target audience. So we would start off by explaining what an eating disorder is, in case they didn't know. So it's any condition related to persistent eating habits, and it can affect a person physically, emotionally. And then we would go into the different types. So the 3 different types we were going to focus on would be anorexia, bulimia, and then binge eating. And then for this specific PowerPoint, we only talked about anorexia. So it's just this layout of what we would do for the other 2 as well. So we start with anorexia, explaining that it's self-starvation and weight loss. It has a high mortality of any psychiatric diagnosis. It mainly affects females, but it can also affect males as well. And then we would go into the possible causes. So there's no single cause that has been found with the specific eating disorder, but there are many things that play an effect to it. So it can be psychological, so they can equate their fitness with self-worth, or have an intense fear of gaining weight and becoming fat. And there was actually an article that I read where researchers were able to pinpoint specific genes that are linked to anorexia and certain conditions as well. So genetics does play into effect, but not as much as psychological. And then there is an increase in getting an eating disorder if someone close to them, whether it be in their immediate family, of them developing that eating disorder as well. And then some signs and symptoms of anorexia would be rapidly losing weight, being significantly underweight, obsession with calories and fat concerns, so they're always counting, they're always keeping track of what they eat. And then the last one is actually an absence of menstrual cycles within females, because it does affect females more than males. Some of the physical effects, if a person does develop this condition, they can have short-term and long-term effects. So it can, they can affect they can have osteoporosis, which is a disease that results in the density of bones reducing. So it can cause their bones to fracture more, and it's being deprived of calcium, which is a nutrient that they need their bones to grow and remain strong. It can affect a woman's fertility, because their body fat does fall dramatically. They're no longer able to produce specific hormones that are needed for ovulation. And then it can develop heart problems as well. So there's not enough body fat to protect the heart. And then this can cause the heart to not pump as much and circulate the body effectively, which results in the heart failure. And then this is a small chart. I think it's a bit hard to read, but it just explains the different parts of the body that are affected. So it's, I can't even read it from here. So yeah.
Yeah,
it's a bit hard to read.
Yeah, still a little hard, but interesting. Yeah, it talks about the brain. Okay.
Yeah, so it just explains different parts.
Yeah. Heart. Very interesting. Very nice.
And then we talk about the treatment. So there's medical treatment. So it's addressing any serious health issues, so such as malnutrition, electrolyte imbalances. And then it's also nutritional. So you want to try and address the weight restoration, implementing tailored meal plans to the patient, or educating them about normal eating habits. And then there's also therapy. So recognizing the underlying issues associated with the eating disorder and trying to help the person heal from it and just learn healthier coping skills for whatever did cause them to develop the eating disorder. So for our guided practice, we were going to split the class into different groups, and each class is going to get a piece of paper or some type of board, and it will be split up into 3 sections with anorexia, bulimia, and it was supposed to be binge eating. And then we would have little slips of paper that contains either little facts or little signs and symptoms or things that you would associate with each eating disorder, and they would have to place it in the correct spot. And then we would check for correctness. If there was anything wrong, then they would have to go back and correct it. And then for closure, we would just do a brief review of the entire lesson plan. And then we wanted to give out pamphlets or brochures that they could take home so that they would have in their back pocket if something were to happen to someone they love or themselves, they would know how to help with it and how to learn how to treat it, I guess you would say. So then our independent practice, we just had a fake quiz that they would take based on what we would have taught them throughout PowerPoint. So we have some true and false right there. True and false eating disorders are common among teens. People with eating disorders can become withdrawn or less social. Each eating disorder has its own single cause and treatment. Or we would also have fill in the blank where we would create scenarios based on what you would see from the eating disorder, and then they would have to classify each scenario with the appropriate eating disorder. And then follow up, we would just do a review. It wouldn't be a graded assignment. It would just be something to assess if they've learned anything through the lesson plan. And then our required materials would be the slideshow, the papers and cutouts for the guided practice, the quiz for the independent practice, and pencils and pens.
Nice
And
job.
that's it.
Okay. All right. Well thought out. Well thought out. What I'm really enjoying are the PowerPoints and how you took your lesson plan and was able to focus on specific objectives that you wanted to accomplish. And again, that takes some thinking. Yeah. And how you're going to just, and I like the fact that you chose one of the eating disorders. You have a specific format, and for each one of the 3 eating disorders, you would, address each one, the same way. The signs and symptoms, physical effects are really, really good job here. Nicely done. Nicely done. Yeah, I was actually talking to some of the dental professors just yesterday and, talking about how well this class was doing because, again, they want feedback. And I was telling them, you were presenting your lesson plans. And, again, that's a big part of being a dental hygienist. You're cleaning teeth, you're doing, this routine care of the teeth, but you want to be able to tell your patients, how can they be responsible for the care of their teeth? And education is huge, huge in your area and definitely in for dietetic majors in our profession. So, good job. We have one more group. Let's look at this group. Okay. This group is Jordan, Brenda, and Mariah. Anyone present for this group? It could be that I did get an email, and I think it was Brenda that everyone in this group had to work or they had something that prevented them from attending. But let's take a look. I can, you know, just take a look. Their topic is how to be a healthy vegetarian for adolescent. And again, this is a very important topic because I work with adolescents in practice, and many of them, quite a few, all of a sudden they want to be a vegetarian. Yes, we do have some clients that come in our residential home who are already vegetarians. And of course, they get talking to other adolescents, and all of a sudden, someone just pops up out of the blue and want to be a vegetarian. And the nurse or one of the counselors generally tells me, oh, so-and-so this week is talking about starting a vegetarian diet. So I wanted to bring that to your attention so that you can start, you know, educating. By the time I meet with that particular individual and start educating them about a vegetarian diet, I would say a large percentage of them change their mind because they realize that is not as simple as just taking meat out of their diet. And you'll be surprised how people think a vegetarian diet is just simply taking meat out of their diet. And therefore, they will leave tasty cakes and candy and cookies, and, you know, and believe it or not, and I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it, how can you be a vegetarian if you don't eat fruits and vegetables? Yeah, I honest, and I'll simply tell them because I would have developed the rapport and you know them well enough. I said, now you want to be a vegetarian, but yet you don't eat a lot of vegetables or any vegetables, and they sit there and they sort of look at me. I said, so how are you going to go about being a vegetarian when you don't eat salad? You don't eat any of the vegetables on the menu and so forth. So many times they rethink whether the vegetarian diet is really right for them. The previous group just talked about eating disorders. Sometimes it is a sign of a possible eating disorder. They're restricting food out of their diet. So sometimes them wanting to be a vegetarian could actually be a sign of them, you know, developing or experiencing anorexia and just trying to eliminate food, period, from their diet. So a lot of these presentations really tie in well. Going back, yes, their target group were adolescents 14 and 19. Their statement of purpose, the aim of this plan is to provide methods to deliver information about benefits of a high quality vegetarian diet and the role it can play in healthy lifestyle. I like that statement of purpose. Very, very good. The goal is for adolescents to learn and understand healthy vegetarian lifestyle changes using nutrition labels of various vegan foods and providing skills to prepare proper meals. A very good goal. They use the word learn and also understand, which are vague. So again, remember, goals are not to be measured during the duration of that presentation. Goals are achieved. It may take weeks, months, years to actually achieve a goal. So it takes learning, it takes understanding, which takes a much longer period of time. With the cognitive, they have their, again, adolescents will be able to read. So that is their measurable verb. Read and interpret, also interpret. So read and interpret. I like this because you can do all the reading in the world, but if you're not interpreting what you're reading, then again, it's just going through one ear and out the other. How are you going to apply it if you're not able to interpret vegetarian nutrition facts effectively? Identify, very good, measurable, identify the proper vegetarian foods and how to avoid a non-vegetarian food. Good. Effective, will be able to discuss. Good. And again, effective is the ability to get them engaged, for them to be more attentive. So yes, discuss components within a healthy vegetarian diet, be able to choose. This is engagement. Choose and follow healthy vegetarian meal plans and implement them in their daily lifestyle. Psychomotor, this is their skills. They will be able to plan a healthy vegetarian alternative meals using their favorite plant foods. They will be able to create, again, very good measurable verbs that shows that they can apply a skill, create effective and easy ways to obtain the RDAs of nutrients. Okay. Then what's missing here would be their time allotment. So they have their anticipatory set. Again, they should have maybe 5 minutes here. Educator will give a brief overview and hand out a pre-test. And that pre-test will include questions about benefits and risk factors of vegetarian diet with multiple choice, questions, answers. Knowledge of best and worst vegetarian food choices and comparisons, and how to balance nutrition intake based on your RDAs. Their direct instruction, again, they might want to devote about 20 minutes here. Educator will present answers to the pre-test and discuss factors of the proper vegetarian diet. Educator will show PowerPoint to help visualize proper meals and portions. Educator will engage in discussions about participants' overall knowledge of plant foods, and they will also go over what constitutes as a healthy vegetarian foods and what does not. Then their guided practice, maybe they want to spend maybe 15 minutes here. Again, you have to determine whether you have 30 minutes or 45 minutes and distribute time accordingly. Educator will give out sample shopping lists and have the adolescent make appropriate selections. Educator will have students participate in discussion about the importance of plant-based vegetarian diets. Closure, maybe 10 minutes here. Educator will review vegetarian alternatives to non-plant-based foods. Will review the importance of a variety to help with long-term adherence. I love that one. Variety is what you need. You don't want to eat the same food over and over again. Tofu, tofu, tofu. Soy milk, soy milk, soy milk. Okay, a variety. If you don't give variety, you're going to get tired of something. You really will. That independent practice, this would be a take-home, brochure or activity. They will hand out new tests. Okay, so they're going to hand out the post tests. So the pre and post test is exactly the same. And as far as assessment and follow-up, educator will provide pamphlets. This is what they're going to take home for reference. Educator will provide sample meal plans to provide guidance while planning. And then their list of materials would be their pre and post tests, which would be the same. Pencils, PowerPoint, sample meal plans, and their take-home pamphlets. And well done. This group wasn't able to present. Good job. Just some minor things with the time allotments. Okay. Let me minimize and take a look at the PowerPoint. Let's see how they did here. Okay. Okay, it started out with what is a vegetarian. So very, very good. A person who does not eat meat and sometimes other animal products. So they're going over the do's and the do nots. Okay, yeah, beef, pork, chicken, steak, fish are generally not included in a vegetarian diet. Good. Why is the vegetarian diet considered healthy? Enhances weight loss. As I'm saying, sometimes individuals knowing that a vegetarian diet can lower calories, and again, it could be an eating disorder, this desire to be thin and to stay thin, and just seeing themselves as being heavy and overweight, having this distorted image, they'll say, "Oh, I want to go on a vegetarian diet." Okay, so again, yes, it can definitely enhance weight loss, reduce illness risk of certain types of cancer, your type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, colon, intestinal, and stomach diseases, generally cancer. You can lower your risk. You can boost your immune system. It helps stabilize blood sugar in many instances, but if you're living with diabetes, again, you have to be well educated on what foods you need to be including. You are what you eat. I love this. All right. Taste the rainbow. Very nice PowerPoint. Very, very nice. Yeah, look at all the colors. Read the facts. Love it. Read the labels so that they can look at the amount of calories, look at the serving sizes, look at the ingredient list. Because again, many foods have animal products in them, and they may not realize that, that I don't know what food might they eat, some type of snack food. It could have, animal fat in it. It could have butter. Again, butter comes from milk, so that may not be what what a vegetarian would choose as far as their fat. Balance between food and activity for a vegetarian. Again, it's not all about what you eat. Yes, you also have to include, again, physical activity, balance of all the different food groups in your diet. Beginner's Guide to a Plant-Based Diet. Very, very nice. Yeah, going over the fruits, the veggies, the tubers, whole grains, legumes. Many people forget about the legumes. And again, if you go back to our chapter on protein, how we talked about the different vegetarian diets and how you need to take a legume along with a grain to make a complete protein. Again, the amino acids missing from the legumes would be found in the grain. And again, that's where the beans and rice come from. Rice and beans, okay? Again, you don't want a rice and bean every day, rice and bean. This helps individuals get that variety in their diet. Vegetarian diet sample menu. I love it. You always want to give samples. They can go back and use it as a guideline. Nutrients and servings. Good job. Okay. Usually students that aren't here do review the the taped recording of the Zoom. And this presentation was Mariah, Jordan, and Brenda. And again, kudos to the three of them. Beautiful job. Well done. Very well done. Any comments about this particular group presentation or any of our presenters? Very well done, all three groups. We learned from your presentations, not only looking at your lesson plans, but also how you constructed your PowerPoint. Every PowerPoint, you addressed it in a different way. Well done. Very, very good job. Okay, let me check my time. We only have about 5 minutes left to the class. I just want to review what you should be doing over the next week. So let's go back to our outline. I'm going to go out of this. You will see the grading of your lesson plans because I'm developing a rubric that will be in Canvas where I can easily grade lesson plans and PowerPoints that have been submitted. And of course, we do have groups coming up. Let me take a look and see what's happening next week. Let's see here. Okay, next week is the 28th. So here we go. All right, so we have two groups presenting next week. We have group number 8, sports nutrition and hydration for high school athletes ages 14 to 18. And then we have group number 9, why control weight gain during pregnancy. And again, so these are the two groups presenting next week. Again, we've had quite a number of groups that have presented prior, and I will be using my rubric in Canvas to get those graded. What I like about the Canvas rubrics that I'm developing is that it will show you specifically where points may have been deducted for different segments of the assignment. And each one of the group members will get that feedback. And it just, gives you a better understanding on how your grade was calculated for your presentation. Also, I will be developing rubric for your diet analysis. So we are really coming down to the end of the semester, and always go to your outline as I'm doing now and just reviewing where we are and where we need to be going. All right, so we had 3 groups to present their lesson plans and their PowerPoint. Again, beautiful jobs by all 3 groups. You are to be studying and reading your chapters 12 and 13, definitely prior to 12 and 13, chapter 11, which was on water. Again, when it comes to water and your major and trace minerals, these are inorganic nutrients. They are non-caloric. Again, inorganic, meaning carbon is not found in their structure of these particular nutrients. So again, next week, which is the 28th, we have the 2 groups that I named. Groups 8 and 9 will present their lesson plans and PowerPoint. You are moving to chapter 14, which is on balanced energy. I want to talk about the nutrition care process next week. That's important. I will open the practice case studies. And if there's any of you that are looking to earn extra credit, I will open those case studies for you to complete to earn some extra credit. So I'll talk about that next week. I will be opening test 5 next week. It will open on the 28th, close on May 5th on chapters 11, 12, and 13. And then, of course, then we're moving to May 5th, where you would be turning in again. I get emails every once in a while when students want to email me their assignments. You upload, submit your diet analysis in Canvas assignments. So again, that you should be working really hard on that. Again, so that you can get a real high grade on your diet analysis projects. And then the week of the 12th, I'm not sure, that's a Wednesday. We'll see if it may not even be necessary to meet, where I would just be simply posting your last test, test 6 on chapters 14 and 15, and it will close a week after that. So again, that's my plan for this class. Any questions? Those of you in attendance before I close for today? Okay. Good. All right. Good class. And thank you, groups that presented. Beautiful jobs. Take care. Email if you have any questions, everyone.
Thank you, Prof.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.